Ladies and gentlemen, that's a great start with a voice crack. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Darren Jacobs, and welcome to Lockdown. We are here at the pre-show for Lockdown. I believe this is the first show we've ever actually done a proper pre-show. And if you guys want to see some more pre-shows in the future, maybe we'll develop it a bit more, add some, some commentary, some promos in build up for the main show. Be sure to let me know. But tonight, of course, we are doing this pre-show because we cannot physically cram all of the contests that we have on one card. So kicking us off in the pre-show tonight, as you can see, someone that no one was expecting to actually be participating here at Lockdown. But tonight, PJ McNair will be facing Big Willie in a rematch here tonight. Basically what happened, if you didn't see on Friday Fight Night, Big Willie accepted the challenge of PJ McNair, and the television championship was put on the line. And what had happened is that Big Willie won on count out. He seemed really scared in that match. He seemed really timid, and we no idea why or what happened in that matchup. But the television champion really struggled to take down McNair, and McNair, unfortunately for him, couldn't take advantage. But McNair called him out again and said that he was, he was a coward and that he's lost all respect for him. And the general manager agreed. He thought that was the weakest that he'd ever seen Big Willie, and Big Willie's supposed to be the big guy, the dominant champion, as he's always been since he's held that title. So tonight, he figured he might as well give the Demon one last chance, but this is his last chance at Big Willie. This will be his fourth, if not fifth, title opportunity at Big Willie, and some people haven't even had one. So this is his final opportunity to prove that he can do it here tonight, and it's going to be inside a steel cage because the general manager, since the cage is already set up for stage 1 of the Lockdown pay-per-view, remember this pay-per-view is split up into 3 stages: the steel cage, the Hell in the Cells, and the elimination chambers at the end of the show, excuse me. And PJ McNair ready to get things going here tonight to start the pre-show. And we've got a stacked pre-show for you. Just because it's a pre-show doesn't mean we haven't got titles on the line. All 3 titles. We have 3 titles on the line tonight, and you will see what they are in just a brief period of time. But the television championship on the line first, and the horns of war sound for Big Willie, the television champion. One of the longest reigns in WIW history. The longest reign, excuse me, in WIW history. Longest television championship reign of all time. Of course, he only had to beat a month to do just that. Most successful title defenses in history. And tonight, he's got a tough challenge. He's got to deal with PJ McNair, who, to be honest, was getting the better of him in that match. And I think that's why he ended in count-out. And also got to do it in steel cage conditions. 4 rules apply, no stipulations for this steel cage. You can win by pinfall submission, or you can escape the cage by using the door to the left-hand side of the stage, or you can climb over the top of it. And it's for the television championship. Big Willie came out to say he was a little bit distracted. There's a lot of pressure on him lately to hit that 200-day mark as television champion. And it's a lot of pressure, and I can understand that. But then again, he can't afford to start looking weak, because that's when he's going to be vulnerable. And the television championship is on the line one more time for this man, PJ McNair. It's his final opportunity. Well, the bell rings. Well, it's going to ring, and away we go in this television championship match. Television championship on the line inside the steel cage. And important that you guys know that we will be having a visual display of what the referee's count is, as we have not put the referee inside the cage for his own personal safety reasons. And so you will be seeing what the referee's count is from the outside of the area. Just to clarify, although I don't know what they're going to go for here, whether they're going to look for the count or maybe try and escape the cage. I can't imagine after Big Willie's last showing, when he's got a point to prove, that he's going to settle for escaping the cage. He might do, though. I mean, he could easily do it. We know the tactic would be hit the running powerbomb and then just leave. But McNair, of course, refusing to let him do that. McNair's out here to prove a point. He's here to prove he can do it. This is his final opportunity at the television championship. Believe this would be his 4th opportunity at him. And oh, and his second in singles action. So if he can't win here tonight, there is no more excuses, says the GM. And the Demon, it will be back to the drawing board, because he's definitely not in the world title picture right now. That is for sure. So he's going to have to come up with something big, the Demon, to really start to push himself forward here in WIW. And now being lifted up. Oh, no. Scooped out. Very well done indeed there by Big Willie. Oh, no, and he's by PJ McNair, I meant. And now with the escape. And now the big elbows. Look at McNair. He's stunned. He's not in a good place. Big Willie really fighting back here tonight. He's got a point to prove, and he intends to prove it. And now look at this. Stomping away on the arm there is Big Willie. And remember, we've got some stacked matches here in this pre-show, but we've got some stacked matches elsewhere tonight. Oh, look at this. Big Willie making the climb. The first climb of the night. Big Willie looking to escape the steel cage and walk out with the television championship. McNair's back to his feet, and he's going to be able to get to him. What's he thinking, though? Oh, dear. Oh, and he just drops him down off the cage. Very well done by McNair, and now McNair's now trying to escape. Oh, he got up there a lot quicker than Big Willie did. Big Willie is hurt from that drop from the top of the cage. And now PJ McNair, this could be his opportunity to capture the TV title. No, Big Willie climbs up there, stops him, and he takes him down as well. And they both have given it a go. They're both in desperate need of that television championship. Big Willie on the hunt for a 200-day title reign. For McNair, this is his final opportunity at the television championship and his last chance to become a television champion. And McNair eyeing up the target, deciding what he wants to do here. He's going to go to the middle rope. It might be easier to climb up here, to be honest, from the turnbuckle positions. Oh, went for a drop kick, and I told you. Well, they both went for the cage. That was a little bit curious for me. I didn't see that coming for either of them. Into the cover. Okay, maybe the counts aren't going to be displayed then. That's great. They should be. We'll try and get that fixed for the next match. But Big Willie just doing whatever it takes. He's using everything to his advantage. Oh, look at that. Bonsai drop. And that is a lot of weight being bared down on the chest of PJ McNair. And now Irish whip to the corner. What's Big Willie thinking here? To the opposite corner. Big Willie lining up for something. And it's a big, big splash. And now he's got him lined up. McNair is in trouble. The running knee is inbound. The television champion lines up his target. And hits with the running knee. And McNair desperately trying to crawl back to his feet as he sees Big Willie climbing the cage. Quite slowly indeed, as you'd imagine, for someone his size. Oh, but dear, no. McNair. Oh, and he drops him again. McNair drops him again. And now the Demon has him in a good position, maybe to set up for something big here. Now the Demon. PJ McNair. Oh, he had him in the corner. Might have been thinking for that shotgun dropkick. Couldn't connect with it. Oh, he's going to get caught taunting here, and that's a big mistake. Big mistake from the Demon. That's exactly what cost him last time, if you remember correctly. The triple threat match for the television championship. He got caught taunting, and he was made to pay for it. But the Demon, we know he's a good fighter, but he's makes so many mistakes, just like that. And of course, this whole Demon persona that he puts on hasn't quite been as effective or as clinical as he maybe thought that it would have been. Maybe it's time for a new strategy for PJ McNair. Maybe, just maybe, something's... Oh dear, look at this. Oh, and the cage coming into play. Big Willie tosses him into the cage and into the cover. Is that going to be enough to put him away? It's a 2 count. I believe. I'm kind of just guessing here. And interesting start indeed to Lockdown. Big Willie once again going to try and make the climb. Hasn't resorted to using the powerbomb yet. He thinks that might be enough here. McNair desperately trying to crawl back to his feet. Big Willie is really close. He's climbing up. He's got a leg over. PJ McNair might lose it here. Oh, wait a minute. No, McNair trying to stop him from leaning over. Oh dear. Oh no. Big Willie. Oh, from the top of the cage. Drop from the top of the cage. And that could be it. That could be it for Big Willie's reign. McNair starting the climb. McNair starting the climb. Big Willie's hurt though. This could be the opening This could be it. McNair to capture the TV title. Big Willie desperately running over. Oh, and just as he gets to the top, Big Willie climbs up. Big Willie now going to hit him with a suplex. Oh, and he's got him. Both drop from the top of the cage. And now Big Willie once again going to make the climb. Well, PJ McNair has definitely been hit with the bigger blows. And he's still down here. He needs to crawl. He needs to get up and stop Big Willie, who's escaping the cage. That might be enough. He's on the other side. That's it, surely. Big Willie retains the television championship here at Lockdown. And he escaped the cage. Not quite how I figured he would have done it. But that is the rules. There's nothing wrong with that. And Big Willie retains the television championship in this impromptu television championship steel cage. It was a fantastic match, all things considered. They both really gave it their all. There was the running knee right to the jaw. Running powerbomb never came into play tonight. Reversal of the shotgun drop kick there. And this was probably one of the bigger moves. Oh, and crashing him into that cage. And that's going to happen a lot tonight, I have a feeling. And Big Willie makes the escape and retains the Fight Night Television Championship. A big win here tonight for this man, and he desperately needed that, you feel. After the embarrassment he put on Sunday, he recovers, he recuperates, and he has won the television championship once again. Adds to his impressive list of title defenses and knocks off another opponent. And for McNair, it's back to the drawing board. But for Big Willie, the dominant television championship reign continues. Let's move on to down the next match on the card. Well, after a great start to the Lockdown pay-per-view, we move on to the next title that's on the line inside the steel cage. This one being for the European Championship. And the reason for this one being on the pre-show is because this match has very special stipulation, of course, of not being allowed to escape the cage. The general manager said it would be easier to keep track of inside this pre-show rather than to focus everything on the main show. So, the European Championship on the line I believe 2 weeks ago. Mason Foster called out Jax Wolfe for the challenge. Jax Wolfe said, "You can beat me, you get your match." And that's exactly what he did. Mason Foster, who has had quite a drastic change as of late. He wasn't so successful to start. Then he had a huge spell of being really successful and, of course, capturing his first European Championship. Then he came back from injury, and then he lost to Brad Skeens, and then again in the rematch, which then caused his injury. Came back from injury, hasn't been fantastic, hasn't really proven that he's worthy of it yet. And tonight, and then against Jax Wolfe, he proved he was ready for the television championship one more time, and tonight he has to do it again. It's been a roller coaster of a journey so far for Mason Foster in his first year here in WIW. But for Mason Foster, this is an important one. This is to become a two-time European champion. The first ever two-time European champion in history. This would be he'd be the only one to bear his country's flag on it for a second time. Well, I mean, technically Jax Wolfe has both the side plates from Brad Skeens' reign, as he is American as well, but that is irrelevant. And his opponent tonight, someone that he's very familiar with and has already beaten once this month. This man who also didn't have the greatest of starts, and that tracks back all the way to the trial era. But as of late, he's gone away from just beating everybody down as his mentality to trying to defend that title and do a good job of it. This is his first title defense since capturing the European Championship in the six-man Battle Royal. And, you know, people will say, you know, it was a six-man, it was a crazy match, he didn't have to do all the work. But you say that, he was in the ring with the likes of Stephen Miller, Original Brad, and those two were in the chamber, in the main event tonight of Lockdown. You've got Brad Skeens, of course, the former world champion. It was a crazy match. Dixon was in there. It was all craziness from start to finish. So tonight, in the steel cage conditions, Jax Wolfe defends. Remember, this is special stipulations. They cannot escape the cage and win. They must win via pinfall or submission. The European Championship is on the line in this matchup as well. Hopefully we fix the visuals so you actually can see what the count is. But the European Championship on the line. Will Jax Wolfe successfully retain on his first attempt, or will Mason Foster find a way to become a two-time European champion? Well, it's going to be a tough contest. Mason Foster straight out the gate looking strong. Going to get in behind, looking for a suplex. And it looks like, because the game can't handle it, it looks like we're going to be a framey night. And anyway, climbing up, getting him up, sorry. And now Mason Foster looking for a suplex. Right in the middle of the ring. Big impact. Right in the middle of the logo there. And just off of what we've seen so far from Big Willie and McNair, that was a fantastic cage match. We're expecting more of the same for the rest of the night, if not better. And that's exactly what these two are going to prove. I'm sure they're not particularly happy that their match was, I wouldn't say demoted to the pre-show, again, but at the same time, you know, when the title's on the line, who cares where it is on the card? Because this is the stuff that matters. Every single title has been put on the line here tonight at Lockdown in what is going to be one of the biggest, if not the biggest, pay-per-view to date. Big takedown by Jax Wolfe. And of course we have all these steel cage matches still to come, and we've got them on the main card as well. Then of course we have a Hell in a Cell. We have several Hell in a Cells, including the only non-title match in the card, which is Jaden and SDC. And we also have, oh look at that, oh! Went for a nice little spinning uppercut there. It looked like Mason Foster was unable to connect. Yeah, and then following that, we also have the co-main events of the two elimination chambers. One for Fight Night and one for Mayhem. Oh, Mason Foster. Oh, crashed into the cage by Jax Wolfe. Jax Wolfe wisely using the environment that's around him. Jax Wolfe done great things since switching back to the pop-up cutter out of the power slam position. He's done very well with that move in the past. Didn't quite get him a WIW contract back in the day, but he definitely found a home with it here. And now Jax Wolfe, oh no, shattering the jaw there is Mason Foster, trying to prevent the momentum for one side. It's been pretty 50-50 to start this one off. Falcon arrow by Mason Foster. And the Welsh Wonder Boy, the Welsh Dragon as he refers to himself, trying to prove his worth here tonight, of course. Unsuccessful, I believe, in his first title defense, and we're into the cover, and clearly the visual aids are not going to fix themselves, and we are not going to get a count, but I pretty much gather that was a count of one. And now Jax Wolfe up on the shoulders. What's he setting up for here? Oh, and just crashes him into the turnbuckle. And what a match that we have in store for tonight's main event, the World Heavyweight Championship and the WIW Championship, both on the line in two elimination chambers. And on the WIW one, we have Brad Skeens, Stephen Miller, Original Brad, Alan Hart, Robert Hall, and Aaron Albright, the WIW champion, all gunning for his title. And then on Fight Night, we have, JW Cashman, we have Trevor Jackson, we have Peter Bolton, Max Danger, of course, the defending World Heavyweight Champion. And who are the two others? I'm trying to think off the top of my head who they are, actually. Oh, John Cutter, of course. How could I forget? Oh, wait a minute. Look at this. Big strikes coming in now from the Jax Wolfe, the European Champion. The big strikes come in. He's going to go for the cover now off of it. One. And he's only going to get a one. I'm trying to think who the last person is into that chamber match. I must be forgetting. Oh, Liam Connors, of course, yeah. And, so yeah, that's for the World Heavyweight Championship. So two big chamber matches. Oh, the big spinning heel kick. And that's ended matches in the past, but Wolfe just got up. Wolfe just shook it off. Look at Mason Foster, surprised at that as well. But wisely just going to continue the assault. And look at that. Beautiful move there. And now Mason Foster has him down on the ground. Oh, and we saw this in the week. It wrapped up the match before. Is he going to do it again? The submission hold applied. Submission hold applied. And it put away the Cruiserweight Champion this week. Is it going to be enough to put away the European Champion? And to capture the title, he does. He taps. Jax Wolfe taps. And we have a new European Champion. Mason Foster makes history here tonight in the Lockdown pre-show by capturing for the second time ever the European Championship. Well, he promised that he would come here, he'd take the title, and this time he would defend it, and that he would become a dominant European champion like the man he took it from was, and that was, of course, Jace. Mason Foster trying a new submission there, and it clearly has worked to perfection, because we have a new European champion once again, and his name is Mason Foster. And the Welsh flags will be put back on to the side plates for Mason Foster. Jax Wolfe, of course, I'm sure will be very hungry and eager for his rematch clause to be kicked in. But Mason Foster, for now, can celebrate the first ever two-time European champion. But this time, he said, he promised everyone he will do better and that he'd be able to defend when the time came along. But he has to prove that now. Mason Foster, he's done the first part, he's captured the title again. But can this time he defend it? Can this time Mason Foster finally show what he's worth? And the Welsh Wonder Boy once again captures the European Championship. A fantastic display from Mason Foster as we move on to the final match of tonight's pre-show. Final match of the Lockdown pre-show is another steel cage, of course, as it is still stage 1 of the pay-per-view, and it is for the WIW Cruiserweight Championship that is on the line. And this one has been one heated rivalry, and it's been put on the pre-show to encapsulate it, I guess, as a main event of the pre-show almost, because this is going to be one heated matchup. First up tonight is James Rowley. Remember, guys, that the pay-per-view will be following shortly after this, so be sure to show some support and leave some likes for the double upload that is coming, and of course, hashtag double upload in the comment section. And tonight, James Rowley concludes Lockdown's pre-show hunting for the Cruiserweight Championship. If you haven't been following to this point, Jake Griffiths captured the Cruiserweight Championship for Oliver Regem, won his rematch, and since then has refused to compete in the ring by beating down a number of potential cruiserweights who are eligible to take the title, and I'm including El Estrada Chico, El Murica, trying to think of others off the top of my head. I've been drawing a blank. Daniel Robertson, he's another one. He's taken out as many cruiserweights as he can, and James Rowley said, "You haven't taken out me, and I am the biggest threat to your title." And this is a match that he's been waiting for a while. James Rowley believes that he has what it takes to make the Cruiserweight Championship the most relevant title in the business, and the party boy intends to do just that by walking out with the championship here. Well, it's all fun and games for Rowley on the way down to the ring, but when he's in the ring, he's got to be full seriousness, because he's got one hell of a contest here. Jake Griffiths, the Burrow, in the midst of the year of the Burrow, and he's done so by capturing his first title here on WIW, the Cruiserweight Championship, and he's been doing a vicious job of defending it so far, attacking everyone. A man who just truly hates everybody, and he has no real allies here in WIW. Of course, this week teamed up with the European champion Jax Wolfe and was tapped out by Mason Foster, and unfortunately for Jax Wolfe, he suffered the same fate here tonight. But Jake Griffiths defends his Cruiserweight Championship, and I'm sure he'll do so with a lot of pride here tonight in what's going to be one hell of a final match for the pre-show. Jake Griffiths defending his Cruiserweight Championship for the first time, and there it is, the Cruiserweight Championship ready to be defended. Can he do it though when the pressure is on? And James Rowley, of course, the Road to Glory winner. For him, this would be his first championship if he is successful. Bell rings, and away we go. And James Rowley straight out the gate, not wasting any time to land the big moves, land the big strikes. And I wonder how this one's going to go. I'd imagine Jake maybe is going to go for the escape. I can't imagine that they wouldn't try it, either of them, to be honest. Because remember, of course, it is the easier option, I guess, than trying to keep your opponent down for a count of 3. But then again, if you use the cage correctly, and if you keep them locked in the ring with no escape, eventually you're going to wear them down. And for a lot of people, that's been the case, because if you notice in WIW, they like to leave a ring a lot. They like to beat him down on the outside, use their environment. Tonight, they don't have to do that, because the cage is there. They can beat them down in the ring, and then there's no escape. There's no rolling out. There's no managers. Tonight is going to be anyone's hardest test. And into the cover, and it gets an early 1 count there on James Rowley. And Jake Griffiths, this is his second title defense. Of course, winning the title from Oliver Regem at Final Conflict, then going on to retain it the next night. A very big night indeed for Jake Griffiths. That was the Euro de Burrow in full swing here. And look at that, beautiful diving crossbody there from Jake Griffiths, from James Rowley, excuse me. And James Rowley's off to a flying start in this one, but we know that he's not going to back down easy. Oh, look at that! Did you see his face? He hits him on the chest with the ropes, but his face crashes into the cage. And good ring awareness there from James Rowley, and that's exactly the type of stuff I'm talking about here. To the corner, James Rowley, trying to set it up for something, but Jake Griffiths said no. Oh, and look at that big strike. Now the Irish whip again. James Rowley trying to take advantage, and he does. There's the drop kick. Jake Griffiths not looking great out the gate here. We've already seen the crowning of one new champion tonight. And with all the titles on the line tonight, I'm sure Jake Griffiths will not want to make it a second, with him losing his Cruiserweight Championship. And now look at this. Taunting him, telling him to bring it, almost to say that he hasn't done so as of yet, and there's a big knee to the face. Jake Griffiths, a much more aggressive fighter in his fighting style. Well, look at this. Looking for a pile driver here. Oh, and connects perfectly. Look at that from Jake Griffiths. Bringing out the big moves to put away James Rowley. And it's going to take these big moves to do just that, as people have been finding out. Beautiful acrobatic display. And Jake Griffiths going to make the first climb of the match. Following that splash, James Rowley down, and he's trying to get back to his feet. But Jake Griffiths has begun the climb. Oh, he's up the top. He's got his leg hooked over. James Rowley couldn't get up in time, and Jake Griffiths escapes the cage and retains the Cruiserweight Championship. Well, he had to do that. He had to escape, and he just managed to hook his other leg over before James Rowley could grab it. And from there was no saving James Rowley. A 12-foot contest between both men. They both gave it their all, but in the end, it was enough for Jake Griffiths to escape with the Cruiserweight Championship. He'd done the job, and look at James Rowley distraught in the ring. He cannot believe it that Jake Griffiths has just escaped. To be honest, pretty easily as well. It was a hard-fought contest, don't get me wrong, between the two, but James Rowley and Jake Griffiths, on his first attempt to escape, manages to escape the cage, and that is going to wrap up tonight's great pre-show. I hope you guys enjoyed. Be sure to leave a like if you did. Comment your thoughts and feelings on the pre-show. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. Hashtag double upload in the comments, and I will see you guys at the Lockdown main show. Peace!